All right, everybody, what's up? Another episode of Smoking That Ish coming to you fresh, hot out the oven right here. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, create an account for your dog, get them in on this. Everybody wants to be smoking that ish, all right? This is the summer of the ish, all right? Get it going. D Game Podcast Studios and D Game 6923 on YouTube. Once again, thank you for letting us be here, and thank you for letting us do this. D Game Podcast Studios and D Game 6923 for the D Game show. They're helping men respect themselves and take back control of their lives and relationships. That includes personal, business, and intimate relationships. Improve your life with the D Game podcast, all right? Superior Buds and Mitchell by the Walmart out there. A well-educated staff of employees that genuinely strive to bring you the highest quality care, researching on their free time to always stay up to date on the latest in medicinal marijuana, constantly updating the inventory with new products every week, and always with new deals and specials. Superior quality, superior care. Superior Buds and Mitchell, all right? Check them out there by the Walmart. Cloud9 Vape and Glass in Mitchell in the strip mall next to the Y. For all your vape, glass, papers, and wraps, with everything from incense and tapestries to high-quality glass pieces from the best glass blowers in the state and beyond. Stop into Cloud9 Vape and Glass, 1416 North Main Street in Mitchell. And now I got some product reviews for you. That's how we're going to start out. This is going to be a bit of a long episode today. So those of you who have missed long episodes, hooray. Those of you who have liked the new shorter episodes, boo. Everybody's going to be, some happy, some mad. But that's what we do here. Everybody feels the love, all right? I bought another ounce of that watermelon gelato from South Dakota Cannabis Company. 27.7%. I mean, it's really good. It hits real hard. A real good shut up button for after work, just chills you right out. It's only $160 an ounce. And it helps me extinguish my anxiety. Just put it right the fuck out. But it leaves me functional. So it's one of my favorites so far this year. It can put you down if you want to, smoke enough of it. But if you just want to catch a nice buzz and do some stuff, you can do that too. So that watermelon gelato is really good. I got some more sherbet cream cake also. So super excited about that. Sherbet cream cake, winner of the March Madness, of course. And my personal favorite since last year. Bum, 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 ba-da-da. I've also been ripping through High Hills carts, but I have run into a fucking issue, my dude. 2 out of the 3 carts that I've bought, I don't know if you can see this, but the top or bottom of this cart is stuck inside of the battery here, and it wasn't working before that. So, and this is 2 out of 3 that I've had that are broken. So that's a super bummer for me because that was a sherbet cream cake one. And, when that happens, of course, any dispensary will get you a new one. But this happened on the way to the studio today. So super bummed me out. I had to dip out, and I tried to go to Patient's Choice or whatever, but dude, even with the GPS, I drove by that place 4 flipping times and didn't see it. Definitely got to get some signs out there, man. You just got the one sign on the side. It's kind of a dull green color. You got to get some lights or something on that thing, dude. It looks like Shaq from Breaking Bad that they cook meth in, dude. You got to really... But I will be stopping in there next time. I don't mean to throw shade or anything like that either. I'm just talking shit. So I had to go to the Tea Tree, which I love the Tea Tree. I always have. I go there and a really nice lady helped me. They had these Luca bears. I don't know if you can see them. They're supposed to be $30. They were 50% off, along with all their glassware. There's 50% off, along with tons of other deals going on in there. And just really impressed. Super happy with it. So definitely check that out. A big fan. I was glad that I got a quick fix there. I bought some other stuff there, but I'll talk about some of that on the next episode, the 420 especial. Woo! You know, you know what I'm talking about. All right, getting back into it. Okay, where was I? All right, I've been ripping through a lot of High Hills carts when I can, when they work for me. I was on my second 1889 Urban Extracts collab with 1889 Farms Dante Inferno. I smoked two of those, and one of those broke, and I had to get a new one. So I've smoked two of those. It's 80% THC, which is perfect for a quick break where you only got time for a couple of rips. You only got 5 minutes or something. It works well for me, and it's only $40 per half-gram cart, which is a great deal. I know you can get $20, $25 carts off the street, but I'm not buying that shit. For one, don't support cartels and illegal cannabis if you can help it. I know some people can't get their license and got to do what you got to do. I know some states like Tennessee in particular are about 100 years behind everybody else. So, get out there and get what you can get. The I love America, God-fearing, red, white, and blue good old boys. I think they're creating more and more crime because they're afraid of a plant. All the while, they're chugging a liquid made from hops. So, super smart. Not that I'm a genius by any means. Two, you never know what you're smoking when you buy stuff off the streets. So, be safe. Respect yourself. You're better than that. From the Hills has this Cherry Garcia. Dabs are phenomenal, dude. They're absolutely amazing. Just as tasty as they were the first time. If anybody had them the first time around, remembers that. But I think it hits even harder, like hard enough to where you forget what the hell you just hit. That kind of hard. They're just mind melting dabs, and those can be had for $60 a gram at Superior Buds. Great job from the Hills. You guys are just constantly killing it. Still, always have been. Bravo to the mad scientists over there from the Hills. I bought the last pack of Lifted Labs 20-pack gummies when I was there, but they got more. They also have peach there too, but it wasn't as strong as the watermelon, so I went with the watermelon once again. And these gummies are magical, dude. These Lifted Labs gummies are just amazing. They're right around 25 milligrams per gummy, so they're the perfect dose for me, and they help me get through the stressful work days working at M&H there in Mitchell. These gummies relax me. They calm me down. And they leave me euphoric, like I'm super nice and incredibly functional, but calm. And they work in minutes. So if 25 is too much for you, they also have 10 milligram gummies, I think, that you can get your hands on. If not, other companies for sure do. So thank you, Lifted Labs, up there in Brookings, and keep up the good work, man. Appreciate you. Next, we have Sodax Selects. I know I've been talking a lot about High Hills lately, and I know that we haven't spoken a lot, but I still love you. So, and that's what's right here. That's what saved the day today was I've been smoking. I've bought a couple of these because I like to jump around in what I buy to just sample everything, I try to stay up to date, let you guys know as much as I can without killing myself by, just nonstop smoking, not knowing what I'm hitting, Sodax Selects the Green. Grapes rule everything around me, dude. This cart is delicioso. It's so good. At 68%, it might not pack the punch of like a Dante's Inferno, but it makes up for it in taste. Seriously, one of the tastiest carts I've had this year. And remember, like they say, friends don't let friends smoke distillates. Smoke Sodax Selects instead. All right. Really, really good. I typically go through a cart in about 5 days. When I normally get a cart, they last me about 5 days because it's mostly just for work and stuff. I don't want to stink. I don't want, I know I have to use cannabis, but it doesn't need to be everybody else's issue, It's really good. It lasts me about 2 days, these ones. I had to think about it for a minute if it lasted through that second day. But yeah, about 2 days these will last me, and then you kill it in the morning. But so good, so tasty. Really hard not to hit that right now. In other news, in world news, smoking that ish, world news. Coming across the wavelengths right now. Congratulations to Germany on the legalization of possession and cultivation for adults. Let's get that out there. Come on, everybody. Come on. I can hear you. I hear you clapping through the wavelengths on a different day than this, where I'm not clapping also, but still. Yay, way to go, Germany. You may now possess up to 25 grams on your person and cultivate up to 3 plants in your homes, which I know isn't a lot of plants, but it's a fucking start. So bravo, Germany, still. Damn it. And once again, congrats to them. Thank you to First Smoke of the Day for that info. First Smoke of the Day is a very good, very informational marijuana podcast. You can find it everywhere podcasts are. Like if you watch the thing and the podcasts are on there, it's on there, dude. They're everywhere. So yeah. If you can't find it, just go on any of those and search for First Smoke of the Day. All words, no one or anything, all words. First Smoke of the Day. If you haven't checked those guys out, I imagine anybody who's watching this has watched that. But if you're not, definitely go over there and check them out, dude. Great guys over there. Extremely knowledgeable. Yeah. Go check them out. They deserve it. They're good people. This next part that I'm going to talk about here comes from an article by MJ Biz Daily, MJBIZDAILY. Okay, and it has to do with getting out there and getting them signatures, man. South Dakotans for Better Marijuana Laws is still at the forefront of the legalization campaign. We have until May 7th to get the signatures needed to put adult use marijuana on the presidential ballot for later this year. Okay? Recreational marijuana was previously approved by the people of South Dakota in 2020, but notorious enemy of legal marijuana, Kristi Noem, boo, 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 boo. She challenged the decision after saying she believed in the people of South Dakota to make the right decision. So, ouch, that hurt my feelers. Apparently, by right decision, she meant her decision because she went so far as to take it to the South Dakota Supreme Court, who overturned the decision on a bullshit technicality. All right. This near success for adults everywhere in South Dakota prompted Noem to start an anti-marijuana campaign still ongoing today. Way to go. I mean, it's directly against what the people want, but shit, it's about what you want, isn't it? That's what being a politician is all about. Serving yourself needs, not the needs of the people. That'd be ridiculous. Her campaign is full of fear-mongering and flat-out lies, ignoring all scientific studies on cannabis and replacing them with a reefer madness-esque level of misinformation. This is the same Kristi Noem who is once again spending millions of dollars on another round of commercials to boost her popularity. Noem's vocal opposition combined with a low voter turnout, probably because a lot of us, myself included, felt like our vote didn't matter anymore. Our democracy was a farce. A lie told to us by someone who thought they already knew how we would vote. It's sad, really, when you think about it. These things led to the failure of the 2022 adult use campaign. People are still saying when asked to sign, even now, that they already did, or I signed it last time. What does it even matter? If you haven't signed it this year, go out and sign, please. It's a big year for it. I'll tell you why. Luckily, it wasn't a total loss, though medicinal marijuana was still approved in 2020 with sales beginning July of 2022. This is why it's a big deal to get it on this year. Polling suggests that election years have higher turnouts, especially among younger voters, and younger voters are more likely to be pro-cannabis. So we need those signatures. Let's fight that voter fatigue. I know it's been a long battle, and many of us are very tired, but let's get this done. Keep fighting, people. Do what you got to do to get them signatures out there, all right? Come on now. We need this. We need this. Let's get this done. It should have been done. I know. Should have been done before. She should have, could have, would have. Let's do it now. All right? Let's do it. We can do it. You can do it. You can help. Let's get it done. Okay? Okay. All right. And then we're going to move on to the last. This is a biggie. This is a big old fat topic we're going to cover today. Big, fat, juicy, round topic that we got to cover. It's a big one, man. This one's going to take a minute, but I don't want to do the 2-part episodes and stuff anymore. I don't feel like you guys like it. I don't really like it. It feels kind of lazy. So when I find me a damned topic, I'm going to do the whole dang thing in one episode. Okay? All right. This one also not going to be in South Dakota. This is going to be national. National marijuana news. New Mexico marijuana seizures. This is brought to you by the Marijuana Moment. They're a really good online thing. If you're not following them on Instagram, you very much should be. They will keep you up to date. Sam, keep it down over there. Don't make me beat you again. All right, that's my son, Sam. He's currently chained up over there, sitting on the couch quietly, or else. Okay, so moving on. Federal officials continue to seize hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of marijuana in New Mexico. Legal marijuana. All right, in recent weeks, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, often referred to as the CBP, have been conducting seizures at checkpoints around the Las Cruces, maybe that's how you pronounce it, area in New Mexico. They've even gone so far as to detain industry employees in what is being called a localized escalation of national prohibition enforcement. A real good way of saying being total dicks. New Mexico marijuana businesses say these seizures are a relatively new phenomenon. Since 2022, when adult use marijuana sales first launched in the state, employees say that they've been able to transport their products to testing facilities and retailers without incident. Now, all of that has changed. I'm sorry, I sounded like a reporter in my head when I was typing this. So this is going to come off like a Dateline fucking episode. I don't know why. The agency has taken a more proactive approach to enforcing federal prohibition over the past 2.5 months, seizing hundreds of pounds of legal cannabis at checkpoints inside the state. U.S. Customs and Border Protection is doing nothing wrong from a legal standpoint. They're allowed to operate within 100 miles of the U.S. border. Ben Lewinger, or Lewinger, I'm going to call him Lewinger. Ben Lewinger, executive director of the New Mexico Cannabis Chamber of Commerce, said in an interview with Marijuana Moment, there's a lot of really successful, important cannabis producers and cannabis manufacturers operating south of those checkpoints. Basically, every road that you could take from the southern to the northern part of the state, you have to go right through one of these checkpoints. And it's just bifurcating, bifurcating. It's just bifurcating or bifurcating the industry and making it impossible for people in the southern part of the state to get their product to anywhere in the central or northern part of the state. The CBP, this is then end quote. The CBP has made at least 13 stops and seizures of state legal marijuana products since February, and this is as of April 8th, so undoubtedly even more has been seized. Lewinger said he wouldn't be surprised if it's twice that number. He went on to say, I'm certain that it's underreported, I think there's lots of people who still have that fear and stigma, and they don't want to rattle cages. The CEO of New Mexico-based marijuana business Top Crop Cannabis Company, Matt Chadwick, said in an interview that his employee was transporting around 22 pounds of product to their Albuquerque locations on February 14th when the vehicle was stopped at a U.S. Customs and Border Protection checkpoint. That's around $139,000 worth of product that's being legally transported. At the checkpoint, a dog, of course, smelled the marijuana and alerted agents, leading to a secondary search. A lot of us who've been pulled over before any cannabis was legal, we know that the dog is a formality. You know, once the dog comes out, your ass is getting searched. They're searching the car. That's all there is to it. All they have to do is say, "Oh, you indicated on your bag tire that you got drugs in there." I'll ask him, "What kind of drugs you got in there?" He says you got cocaine and weed in there, you know, because that's how dogs work. Anyways, it's just a fucking formality. It's dog shit. This is what Chadwick had to say about the incident. "We've been doing this for over a year without any implications. Now they ended up detaining him, putting him in a cell, and he was there for over 3 hours. They finally released him and gave him this vehicle back," which, you know, his vehicle or company vehicle, gave him no documentation and didn't give any of the products back. The agent said he would see something in the mail on how he could get reimbursed for the product that was taken, and we've never seen anything. End quote. This isn't always the case, though. Some impacted businesses, such as Schwazze, Schwazze, I'm just going to call it Schwazze, even if it's not, did receive documentation. But even in some of those cases, there's nothing indicating future reimbursement for product. And my thoughts on it, you know, the government ain't going to pay you for stuff that the feds see as illegal. They's just going to take it and they's going to say it's illegal because they're the feds. You can just add this to the ever-growing gray area that encompasses this country's marijuana laws. The chief legal officer at Schwazze, Dan Pabon, also just so happens to be a former Colorado legislator. And he was kind enough to share the document his employees received after being stopped at a CBP checkpoint on March 22nd of this year. U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents seized around 5 pounds of flour and edible products from the vehicle. The workers then received a custody receipt for seized property and evidence which acknowledged the vehicle was transporting products for a dispensary. The itemized list of seized property only described the vehicle, which wasn't seized because the medical employees were allowed to drive away in it later. And if this weren't strange enough, Pabon said there was yet another interesting twist. Both of the employees, who were registered medical cannabis patients, so while the cannabis that was intended for retail sale was seized by the agents, the employees were allowed to leave with their personal use marijuana supplies. So they're contradicting themselves during their own seizures and investigations. It fucking doesn't make any sense. Patients have little protection from federal prosecution because CBP falls under the Department of Homeland Security. You know, those motherfuckers that can do whatever they want, dude. Sorry about the water noises, but boy, got a drink. All right. So they fall under the Department of Homeland Security. The DHS isn't bound by what's called a congressional rider, which would prevent the Justice Department from using its funds to interfere in the implementation of state medical cannabis programs. Okay? They don't have to worry about that shit. A CBP spokesperson said, this is classic. I like this guy. We might cram this into a half-hour episode, actually. I'm kind of tearing through this right now. A CBP spokesperson said to Marijuana Moment in an interview, although medical and recreational marijuana may be legal in some U.S. states and Canada, the sale, possession, production, and distribution of marijuana or the facilitation of the aforementioned remain illegal under U.S. federal law. Given the classification of marijuana as Schedule 1 controlled substance, consequently, individuals violating the Controlled Substance Act encountered while crossing the border, arriving at U.S. port of entry, or at a border patrol checkpoint, see, even they call themselves border patrol, may be deemed inadmissible and or subject to seizure, fines, and or arrest. CBP wants to remind the public that we own you, and anything you wish to do is under our scrutiny. We will bend you over and we'll venture deep inside your anal cavity if that's what we wish to do. And we'll go so far as to go in there, go all the way up, come out your ears, and touch your hat, because that's what we do. No, that while traveling through any U.S. Border Patrol checkpoint, to include New Mexico, being in possession of marijuana is illegal under federal law. I don't know why I chose to use that voice, but the guy just felt like a dick. So the CBP wouldn't respond to questions about policy change or why the cases are all being handled differently or any other reason for the sudden checkpoints. The CBP also stopped and seized products from an employee of Headspace Academy, another cannabis producer in the area, making this is all southern New Mexico, of course, in case I haven't reiterated that enough, making this the second time this has happened to the company. In a video recording of that arrest, you can actually hear an agent say that the worker was under arrest. And he also went on to say, we've been instructed to seize all cannabis, all illegal products. It's still federally illegal, despite being told that it's still federally illegal. That's where the quote ends. Despite being told that they were under arrest, the employee was released after being fingerprinted and put into a federal database. The statements made by the agent during the arrest make this particular case look intentional, along with some more info we're going to cover here in a second. It's just, they're using this guise to just go around and torment, legal cannabis users. It's ridiculous. The statements, like I said, the statements made by them make this look intentional, not accidental or circumstantial. We don't know how widespread these checkpoints are, but no similar stories are coming out of like Arizona or California, at least not yet. Maybe this is the federal government testing the waters a little bit, seeing how much people are willing to put up with, how far they can go before it actually causes a disturbance. The difference between state and federal laws, especially in this case, are dangerous, and they need to be remedied. Biden promised, of course, that he would federally legalize marijuana, and of course, his dumbass hasn't done shit because he doesn't do shit. U.S. Senator Martin Heinrich, a Democrat from New Mexico, this guy's a fucking real winner. He said that he thinks the problem is what we're focusing on, not what's going on. He thinks we should focus on the checkpoints combating illegal fentanyl trafficking, not seizing cannabis that's being transported in compliance with state law. You guys, you're looking at the wrong thing. So what if some rights are getting violated and you can't have access to your medicine? Good stuff is happening too, though, so it makes the bad stuff okay. Fucking idiot. I mean, he went on to say, New Mexicans are depending on federal law enforcement to do everything they can to keep our communities safe. Our resources should be used to maximize residents' safety, not distract from it. Basically just a bunch of useless buzzwords and fucking bullshit, talking out of his ass, trying to redirect focus away from the fucking problem, which is what unfortunately, most politicians do nowadays. Representative Gabe Vasquez, Democrat from New Mexico, a shining light in all of this. Anybody who sees this in New Mexico, if anybody does, if you're going to be doing any voting, move this Gabe Vasquez up the line, because Gabe Vasquez's office had this to say about the issue. Congressman Vasquez believes that federal government should respect New Mexico law. Congressman Vasquez is also a co-sponsor of the Safe Banking Act, which would support the legal cannabis businesses throughout our state. I imagine that's some kind of act that would allow them to use banks instead of fucking keeping cash around and being dangerous. A 2022 report from the Government Accountability, or maybe they'd open special banks. I don't know, because banks are federal. I didn't have time to look into that this week. A 2022 report from the Government Accountability Office, or GAO for short. And this is where things get interesting, because this is where we find out they're full of shit. 2022 report from the Government Accountability Office, or GAO for short, showed that most CBP, that's U.S. Customs and Border Protection, drug seizures at checkpoints actually came from agents seizing small amounts of cannabis from U.S. citizens, not large shipments of illicit drugs from cartels, as one might assume. See, they're full of shit. And why would one assume that? Because it's what he just fucking said. He just said, focus on all the fentanyl we're catching, not the legal cannabis we're taking. But most of their fucking stops only take cannabis from U.S. citizens, not even illegal immigrants. So fuck you and fuck the horse you rode in on, you sad, fat bag of shit. I just imagine he's fat. Most of these losers are. In 2019, a coalition of senators requested a review of Border Patrol immigration checkpoint actions for the same reason we just discussed, still occurring 3 years later. And I'm not fat shaming. You know, people have conditions and reasons, and there's people out there that are fat due to no action or inaction of their own, but these guys are just fat because they're lazy, fat fucking turds that never had to work a real job in their lives. The CBP has changed its hiring policy, though. So, yay. The past, it now it excludes those who've used cannabis in the past 3 months instead of those who have used cannabis in the past 2 years. So, yay. Though they do caution their employees against the use of even CBD products. So there you go. Can't even use CBD products. The feds can still do whatever they please. So what do you think you would do if this happened? If the feds came knocking on your door and kicked your door in? And do you think the state would help us? Do you think Christy fucking Nome would step in and help you get out of prison? Or do you think we'd all fucking just rot while she went on to be VP or whatever the fuck she's doing? So them's the facts, man. That's the research. That's the quotes. Them's the facts. That's the truth right there. Let me know what you think. Is New Mexico a starting ground, or is this something we shouldn't even worry about? But isn't by not worrying about it just being in compliance with it, you know? Yeah, if anybody has friends or anybody in New Mexico, help them out. Be a buddy. Be a friend. No real comments from last time, just Charlie Hempseed being a fucking bro like he always is. And, you know, we're going to do updates over the summer as we can. We're talking about new cameras, new lights. I know we're going to do the lights for sure. So when you start to see new lights, new lighting in here, that's when the new shit's coming. All right. We will update it as much as we can. If anything that I said here offended you, bothered you, pissed you off, made you kick your dog or some other shit. Well, first off, if you kicked your dog, you're a piece of shit. Or made you unhappy, ruined your sweet little day, or any other thing, numerous problems, if you feel triggered or some other shit, just remember, you can't be mad at me for what I said when I was smoking that ish, all right? Keep your eyes out for that 420 special where I talk to you about the 420 specials, all right? Be good to yourself. Be kind to others. We'll see ya.